Let's get into position for the lateral banded raise. You're going to stand with the band underneath your feet, about equal lengths on each side or so. Feet about shoulder width apart, toes pointed forward. You want to have a slight bend in the knee, okay? So slight bend, not straight legs. Think about gently pulling your belly button into the spine. You want to gently activate your core muscles. The goal here is just to keep your torso stable while your arms are moving outwards. So with that being the goal, we don't want to think about like gripping super hard. When you do that, that creates a lot of tension. I feel really tense right now. And that doesn't feel good either, right? And it's not good for our muscles. So it's not about being super tense. It's just about engaging just enough to keep your torso still and stable and upright while we move our arms, okay? So that when we move our arm, our whole body doesn't just go with it, okay? So that's the goal there. From there, let's continue on now. I went off on a tangent. The ball's running away, sorry. We have a stability ball in the background and it was running away. Okay, bring the shoulder blades in and down the back with a nice broad chest. So see, like this versus like that, okay? So from the side, it would be like me just kind of not thinking about that versus bringing my shoulder blades down and back with a broad chest. See the difference, okay? So you want to do that and kind of maintain that position throughout the movement. From there, your hands are just going to be hanging down straight at your sides. Your palms will be facing the sides of your hips, okay? Ideally, you want to start with a little bit of tension on the band, but you want to make sure that you can get fully to shoulder height out to your sides. Move forward so I don't burn the rubber with the fire. You want to make sure you can get to shoulder height, okay? Because as I mentioned, as your arm goes up, the deltoid works more and more as you go up. So it would be better if you can't, it would be better to have a little slack on the bottom of the band if need be, so that you could get all the way to shoulder height, than to have tension on the bottom but not be able to get to shoulder height. Like, oh no, this is as far as I can go. If you have to choose, have a little slack so you can get to shoulder height, okay? But the type of resistance you have can often help you to make it so that you can get tension all the way through. It's nice to have tension all the way through just because then you're really working the muscle through the full range of motion, right? That makes sense, right? Hi, I'm Razel. If you're looking to get more in-depth tutorials on how to do home resistance training, these types of movements, a lot of times the information we get, it's not very detailed. If you want more detail and you're a woman like myself and you're over 40s and almost 40s, come on over to my website at inspireforwomen.com. I've got all sorts of stuff like that, including full-length workouts using these movements. Okay, enough on that. So here we are, hands facing the sides of the hips. We're just going to lift the arms with the palms facing down to shoulder height. So we're not going above shoulder height, just to shoulder height. And then slowly lower. It's important to remember that as we go up and down, that you want to have control. So I used to think that the down portion of movements, were kind of just like not really connected to working out. Like, oh, this is just a way to, get back to doing the going up part. But actually, our muscles doing a lot of work as we lower under resistance. And so that's a great way to fatigue the muscle as well. So just think about that, all right? So let's do a few together now. Remember to keep that nice broad chest during the movement. Look straight ahead, nice relaxed neck muscles, okay? Try not to use your neck muscles as you do the movement. Now you notice my arms are pretty straight. You could have a slightly bent arm, okay? So that's one option for positioning. It's okay to slightly bend the arm. In fact, that will probably target the lateral delt even a little bit more effectively. At the same time, it kind of can make it easier because it's shortening what's called the lever arm. So both positions are good. Just kind of use what feels comfortable and feels like it's working the muscle most to you, okay? So let me do a few here with the bent arm. from the side now, you can see the slight bend in my knee, the shoulder blades down and back, right? Versus like, you know, just kind of hanging out. And here you can see that my hands are coming out pretty much directly to my sides. I'm going to show you some options for that in a minute that are a little different. But here's what that looks like. Now, I have an upright torso right now, as you can see. You can also have a slight lean to the torso. That will kind of work the deltoid a little more vigorously. So to do that properly, you want to think about hinging here from the hip. So you kind of send the butt back and hinge at the hip and have a slight lean like that. So we're not leaning over from our back, like with a rounded back. We're going here from the hips, and you want to still have a neutral spine, okay? So there should be a little bit of a curve in my lumbar, but not too big, and still shoulder blades down and back, okay? So from that slightly leaned over position, it would look like this. Now, in a leaned over torso position, you want to make sure that you really are engaging your core muscles. You know, your back muscles have to work. They have to, you know, work at a low level to keep you from continuing to fall over and round your back, right? So you want to make sure that you do have all that engaged so you can keep a neutral spine in the bent over position if you choose to do it that way. Thanks for being with me today, ladies. Once again, I'm Razel. If you're a woman in your over 40s and almost 40s like myself, you like my style of teaching, more in-depth demonstrations of how to do movements safely and properly, you like to see tutorials in beautiful outdoor nature spots, you like chill music, if that sounds like you and what you're looking for, come on over to my website at inspirefulwomen.com.